based on how liberalism and constructivism links to ILO or International Labour Organization, G20, Allied Legislators, and International Liberalism. Now, to begin with, we'll have Prilla and Noel to elaborate on what the International Labour Organization is and what it is.
Okay, thank you. So ILO, which is International Labour Organization, ILO is a United Nations agency founded in 1919 that works to promote fair and safe work conditions worldwide. ILO aims to promote decent work with dignity, equity, and security for all workers globally. It is a very unique organization because it listens equally to governments, businesses, and workers to build better workplace everywhere.
Thank you. So I believe there are functions of ILO, if you can state some functions of ILO.
So the core functions of the ILO begins with setting international labor standards through conventions and recommendations that address issues like working conditions, wages, child labor, forced labor, and occupational safety. Secondly, the ILO provides technical assistance to help countries strengthen labor laws and policies by offering training and resources to improve labor administrations and assist in strengthening institutions like trade unions and employers' organizations. Thirdly, the ILO fosters social dialogue by bringing together governments, employers, and workers to resolve disputes and shape inclusive labor policies. It monitors compliance and encourages corrective actions when labor standards are breached. Finally, the ILO advocates for a decent work agenda, promoting fair income, workplace security, and equal opportunity for all. In doing so, it helps build a more equitable and sustainable global labor environment.
It would be best if you also give some examples to support that. Examples of ILO.
Also on that note, the ILO plays a central role in supporting G20's development agenda, especially in areas like human resources development, job creation, especially in areas that are in need of improving working conditions. A very good example is the Republic of Korea, and ILO signed an MOU to pursue cooperation projects under ILO framework to implement job creation programs in developing countries.
Moving on, we have the G20 where Michaela and Thomas will be talking about. And yes, let's find out what the relationship between these events mean.
Question. So the relation between ILO and the G20 is they work on a joint initiative or on a collaborative matter. So the ILO provide the G20 with policy recommendations on labor issues and as well as research and data for them for social and economic matters. Yeah.
What is the G20? G20 is a short term for Group of 20. So according to the International Labour Organization 2024, the G20 is a forum for international economic cooperation. So major state actors come together to discuss major international economic issues and strengthen coordination on issues on mutual benefits or interest. So you might be wondering the countries or the member states of the G20 itself. So these include USA, Russia, China, UK, the European Union, and the African Union, which recently joined them in 2023. So when you want to talk about how G20 relates to liberalism, it's simple. It promotes cooperation, dialogue, and interdependence among major economies. Liberalism holds that states can work together through institutions, shared rules, and diplomacy to achieve mutual benefits. So, in short, the G20 fosters cooperation by uniting countries to coordinate policies and tackle challenges instead of acting only in self-interest or military power or by force. Yeah.
So I'm going to elaborate more on constructivism theory, the relation to constructivism and the G20. So constructivism and G20 collaborates and emphasize on learning environment where countries come together, and they learn from each other on knowledge-based construction. So in relation to what my friend Thomas has said about liberalism, they come for collaboration. In part of that collaboration, countries give ideas and they learn from each other. So G20 is not an international organization. It is an informal group, and it also was formed on 1999 under the Council on Foreign Relations, 2024. So that is it. Thank you.
Now to the Allied and Axis powers, where Elinda and Brian will be talking about. So we all know that during the World War II, there were two major groups, which is the Allied powers and the Axis powers. And that also occurred with the international liberalism movement. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Eva. So the two powers, the Axis powers and the Allied powers. So Axis powers was made up of Germany, Italy, and Japan. And the Allied was the US, Soviet Union, and Great Britain. So as we all know in international relations, by Goldstein and Cliffhouse, constructivism is used to explain how ideas and identities and norms shape IR. So it is not just by the material power or by institutions. So in contrast to Allied powers and Axis powers, constructivism relates to both the framework of both Allied and Axis. So the Axis powers, they were driven by specific constructivism identities. So Nazi was specifically focused on the Aryan system. And we have Japan, who saw itself as the leader of the East Asian order. So in terms of the Allied powers, they were guided by constructive ideas, which were they defined themselves as defenders of the society. And secondly, the us as them identity, which shaped both the world we find.
So from what I know, liberalism was also involved. May you elaborate more on that?
So, liberalism is the belief in freedom, cooperation, and promotion and peace. So, liberalism is linked to the Axis and the Allied powers through the World War II in 1939. So, in that period of time, the Axis powers do not agree with liberalism, where they ignored the liberalism and went on and fought against the Allied powers. So, our Axis power in the world leads to the ignorance of classical liberalism. So the classical liberalism means the values of individual freedom, free market, and promotion of peace internationally. So after the World War II, the liberal international order was significantly saved by Allied victories. The US controlled liberal democracy and capital economics.
Thank you. We have come to the end of our discussion and subscribe for more.